Hello, hello, hello. Happy Thursday, one and all. I hope everybody's well today. I got some fun stuff to talk about. I'm pretty excited about it. Another gorgeous day in Rhode Island. I'm loving it. I hope you all are well. I'm well. I'm very well. Having a lovely day. And I'm just going to, I'm just going to get right into it. So, this week, I have been talking about the one change you need to make to go from frazzled to flourishing. Mm-mm-mm-mm. This has been just such good, yummy stuff. So I, at all times, have at least 6 different books going on a variety of subjects. Things to inspire me, things to inform me, things that I can use for resources for myself, for my clients, just because I am a crazy, curious person who likes to read. So I had been given this book by the universe, weirdly. Life is Messy, Matthew Kelly. This book literally arrived in my mailbox a couple months ago. I didn't order it. I don't know how it came to me. I'm sure it's some sort of marketing thing from the publisher. Um, but it arrived in the mail, and they said, enjoy it, and if you like it, share it. And so I've been reading it, starting to read it. Um, and recently I picked it up because I was like, oh, today is a life is messy kind of day because I've been sitting in the muck, right, the last few weeks. So I picked this up, and all of a sudden, some good juicy nuggets came out of it. And I want to share these nuggets with you because it was really like, oh my gosh, yes, yes, yes. This is something we all need to hear over and over again. So I am going to share with you. I just took out a couple passages directly from the book. So again, it's Life is Messy by Matthew Kelly. Feels nice. It's like a soft touch. It's good. Very soft. I like it. I like it. Okay, so I'm gonna get I'm gonna get right to the heart of what I read and what I want to share with you today. So this is just so good. For thousands of years, humanity has been obsessed with traveling to every corner of the earth, exploring every wonder imaginable, and yet we continue to ignore, even neglect, the wonder of self. You experience everything through the mystery of self. Everything. Not just some things or most things. Everything. Your capacity to experience anything in life depends on how well you know yourself and how much you are flourishing. Flourishing is such a good word. Definition thereof, flourishing. To have the physical and emotional capacity to show up as your best self. Kind of what everyone wants to do. Yeah? Continues on. We have so many commitments and obligations, some real, some imagined, but we often forget the obligation we have to ourselves. Ooh. In order to fulfill this obligation, which often feels uncomfortable, and that is very true, you have to learn to put yourself first. Not all the time, not in a selfish way, but sometimes. We need to learn new ways of putting ourselves first that lead us to flourish. Each morning when you wake, remember your obligation to yourself. This is the forgotten obligation. Right? So, duh, it's so true. And it really sort of strikes to the heart of conscious dressing and why I put it together. I just love how he said those things. The obligation to self, I thought, that's really good because we do all feel really obligated to take care of everyone else in our lives, all the people we love. All of us do this. Our parents, our kids, our coworkers, our friends, our pets. We're even obligated. we feel obligated to our homes, you know, to our investments, the things we own. But not necessarily are we feeling obligated to ourselves. And that just really struck me. And as I really sort of sat with it, I thought, what are some of the signs that maybe you're not fulfilling your obligation to yourself? So you feel burnt out, um, like you're not flourishing, right? You're not showing up as your best self. You're overcommitted in probably at least one, but probably almost every area of your life. It's okay to be overcommitted in one, but when you're overcommitted in multiple areas, you are not fulfilling your obligation to yourself. You can't settle at night or rest, even when you're fully exhausted. If you just lie there and go, that can be a big, big sign that you are not fulfilling your obligation to yourself. You don't feel that you can buy yourself anything, but you happily spend on others. You ignore your appearance. You never make time to do anything for yourself. That has nothing to do with anyone else, but truly 100% for yourself. Um, if you are feeling like you wish you could be more present, if you are feeling like you wish you were able to enjoy the little moments that people talk about, people like me when I talk about finding feathers and leaves, if that's something that you're like, oh my, I can't. When I'm walking, I'm just busy, busy, busy. I've got things on my mind. If you'd like to be capable of creating balance in your life, if you'd like to feel that you are flourishing even through the hard times, all these things are telling you you are not meeting your obligation to self. And we all do this. I'm guilty of it as well. But that, again, is why I created conscious dressing, because here's the thing. If we continue to ignore these signs, the burnt out, the overcommitted, the just give, 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 we know the reports are there. We've heard it over and over. You're going to feel more and more unfulfilled, unsatisfied with life. You're going to have more anxiety, more depression, or you will get anxiety and depression. And if you have it, it will worsen. And your mental and physical health is just going to suffer. It just is. There's no two ways around it. We can only take so much neglect of self. And, like I said, this obligation of self really speaks to the core tenet of conscious dressing, which is knowing yourself and making yourself a priority and consciously giving yourself time to focus on you. And that's why I created this, because, the true beauty of it is you're not adding anything else with conscious dressing. That's what I loved about it was you're not adding to your list of to-dos. This is something you're already doing every day. You're simply giving yourself more time and focus on something that you're already doing. It's honoring yourself by prioritizing yourself in the process. I mean, how delicious is that, right? Like you get up and you're checking in with yourself, and when you're putting on your clothing for the day, you're choosing things that you know you need that support you where you are in this moment. And it really is the biggest gift you can give to yourself is to acknowledge yourself first. So obligation to self should be done first thing in the morning because you are the most important thing in your world, and you should be the most important thing in your world. Because if you are not, and you're not showing up in a flourishing way in your best self, you sure as heck aren't going to be able to be there for everybody else when they need you. And that's really our goal, is to be there for everybody else. So we have to take the time and invest the time in ourselves. And sometimes it's investment of time. Sometimes it's investment of money. Sometimes it's an investment of energy. And sometimes it's all of the above. Because a lot of times when we invest in something financially for ourselves, there is an energetic exchange where the results are greater than if you're just doing something path of least resistance, the cheapest thing possible. I'll do this. You know what? I will paint my fingernails every week instead of going to get a manicure, because now you've just added to your workload. And where you're like, well, that's just me time and I can do that. But if you literally go out and pay someone to do your nails for you every week, that energetically says something completely different. I'm just going to check the messages. I let all this sink in and see if anybody has shown up. Nope, nobody's here yet. It's okay. I know y'all are going to watch the replay. Yeah, you are. You're going to be like, what the what? This is such good stuff. Yes, it is such good and important stuff. And what I really want to hit home is that none of us should feel guilty or ashamed or like we just shouldn't be prioritizing ourselves. And so I want you to sit with this term, obligation to self, and really let that sort of sink in and go, what is your obligation to yourself? What are you needing in your life? What are you wanting in your life? And then write it down, like write down some of these things, acknowledge it. Um, Writing things down, seeing that you're writing it down, knowing that you are actually taking note, literally and figuratively, of what you need. It's going to take a while for you to get used to paying attention to yourself and to realize that you do believe you're worthy of prioritizing. And it's going to take a while to create these new ways of thinking about obligation to self. It's that this I'm telling you, he just totally nailed it with that obligation thing, because when you say I want to prioritize myself, that speaks one thing, but when you say you are obligated to prioritize yourself, you are obligated to do it, that takes on a whole different level of meaning. The energy associated with it, it's like, wow, I can't believe that I was neglecting this major, major obligation. Because I know none of us would want our loved ones to feel that they were neglecting themselves. We wouldn't want that. We don't, I don't want my kids, depriving themselves of something, or neglecting themselves in some way. Do they need to go see the doctor, have a checkup? Do they need a therapist, someone to talk to because they're struggling with something? Like, don't just push through. Seek guidance, seek help. Prioritize your health, your mental health, your physical health, your energetic health. So I just, it's just going to be another short one because this is some deep stuff to think about. So again, the book that inspired this, Life is Messy. And it was pages 89 through like 92 that I got this inspiration for talking about this week. So I would love to know what you guys think about the concept of obligation to self. Does it make you feel uncomfortable? Is it something you're already doing? Are there ways you can do more of it? Can you get better? Have you been doing a little bit and now you can add something to, maybe it's time to up level and do even more for yourself? Because once you acquire it, doesn't mean you have to stay at that same level. It's like, taking yoga class or Pilates or anything like that, or lifting weights or running. Once you get to a certain level, you want to move further, right? You want to get faster. You want to get stronger. You want to get into those crazy poses. How can you be more obligated to yourself so that you can flourish in a very frenzied, frazzled world? Because the more of us that are flourishing, the better it is for all of us. So I hope you all have a phenomenal day and just enjoy obligation to self. Have a good one.